Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I'm not gonna lie. It seems that every day it's like Drew just proves to the world just how worser of a character that he can become. Right? I mean, this dude was literally fully prepared to arrest Danny. Right? And yeah, okay, obviously Danny could have did things differently and could have did things better, right? Instead of just snatching her from school and everything, call Jason, call Alexis, do something other than what he just did, right? And so I get his anger, and even Alexis, like, listen, I get it, you're angry and everything like that, and you have every right to be, but you are taking this way too far. And when he was sitting there telling Chase, arrest him and everything like that, and Danny was like, "Is Uncle Drew really gonna sit there and get me arrested?" It just, I mean, that just irked me in general. The fact that he's still calling you his uncle, even what calling you uncle, even what you're about to do, is just out of pocket. And so Chase is like, "Yo, listen, I'm not here to carry out your vendetta." He talks about what his job is, right? He's like, listen, I'll give him a warning. That is the best that I'm going to do. And that's what he does. I give him a warning, and Jason, understands and thanks him and stuff. They go back and forth a little bit, Alexis and Drew. And there's a point where I don't exactly remember which one brought up Sam. But, Alexis, like, listen, if Sam was here. And that's when Drew, I mean, this is where I was like, okay, this, She was like, if Sam was here, and Drew's like, but she's not here. And with Sam, and I'm paraphrasing, but like with Sam would have won, it doesn't matter because she's not here. I'm here. I had to pause. I had to literally pause it and just take a good walk to my kitchen to go get something to drink because I was like, I know this man did not just. I mean, I don't have words for that, and this is what I do, and I don't even have words for that. And so he was like, you know what? Listen, I'm keeping Scout away from anyone that is trying to undermine me. I'm like, yo. Even when I sat there and defended Drew, because there was times where there was times where I tried. And then there was times I was legit like, no, 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 we're not doing that. That was way before. It's almost like this show was just like, yeah, we see that you're kind of defending Drew and some of this stuff. Let's just keep piling up the scumbaggery. Let's just keep doing it to the point where Albert he just has to tap out. I mean, that's the only way I can sit there and try to make sense out of this scene. And that's what he does. He's like, listen, you're not going to sit there. You're not going to have access to Scout. Your family pretty much is not going to access to Scout. The brothers and everything like that, nobody. And he just walks out. And, the thing is, grandmothers do have rights. Nina was. Here's the thing. When Nina did it out of spite. When Nina sat there and tried to file for custody and stuff like that or whatever, or was it joint custody or something like that? I don't remember. But when she did it out of spite. At first when Alexis originally did the idea. I wasn't for it because I was like, listen, you may not like the way that some of the antics that he's doing, the way he snipped their parents and his child and stuff like that, but like, you know, you're not just gonna sit there and take this man's child. You're not gonna do that. But as far as visitation rights, as far as making sure that she and the family could sit there and see the kids, absolutely 100%. That's what I am for. Because this guy is just doing what's best in his interest, not necessarily what's best in her interest. Remember, this is about undermining me. The hell was Scout? Yeah, he brought up some stuff, and we could sit there and go back and forth. Um, Rocco and I mean not Rocco, Danny, and some of the reckless stuff he did with Rocco, with his sister. Like Chase said, he was riding down a very dangerous road or whatever, and God knows what could have happened. So we're not gonna sit there and try to act like Danny was entirely right about doing that. His heart might have been in the right place, and we all get that, but it is what it is. Shows a pattern. But, he's using that as an excuse, as a weapon and everything. So, you got that going on. Then go to Nice or whatever. Not Nice. Whatever the hell they are. At least it's better than yesterday when I called him Chance. So, that's an improvement. But anyway, um, Jocelyn spots uh, Britt flirting with Vaughn. And the hotel manager walks up like, hey, what are you doing? Look like you've seen a ghost. And at first, Jocelyn's like, listen, yeah, she's flirting with my man or whatever. And he's going to go over there to sit there and say something. It's like, no, I don't want to make a scene. She's like, no, it's fine. So he goes over to talk to Bray and kind of break that whole thing up. Then Vaughn comes back. Vaughn's like, what are you doing? She's a guest. I'm trying to sit there and get access or whatever to places that we can't get access to. And at that point, Jocelyn tells Vaughn, is Britt Westbourne. She knows him. I mean, she knows her. She's supposed to be dead. The whole thing. Parents and everything. So he's all caught up. And then she talks about Huntington's disease and, just all of it. So now he's caught up. And I don't know what Britt is doing at this point. Because it seems like she just keeps poking the damn bear. Right? Oh, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do whatever I want, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, girl, let me tell you something. You can either make your accommodations nice, or you could, be in a damn dungeon somewhere or in a goddamn broom closet. You keep effing around with this guy, and you want to find out. So I don't understand why I understand it's supposed to be like her feistiness or whatever, but her feistiness is going to sit there and want to get her into a lot more, um, she. I'm just not just saying like it could get a lot worse for her, and it's like she keeps doing it just because. And I get it, she's isolated, she's cooped up and everything like that, but I'm like, there's a reason why you ain't just walk off or whatever. So like, and there's a reason why there's a little bit of fear in your eyes when you start to get serious. So, now back to poor Charles. Here's the thing that I find this scene very funny, right? James talks too damn much. See, people used to sit there and get on Violet all the time. James is playing with Rocco. I mean, playing with Cody, and they come across it well. And he introduced himself and everything like that, and who Maxie is, and who her father is, and the fact that Maxie wasn't there confiding in her father about a tough decision or something. I was like, now Maxie wants to tell the cops and everything, the FCC, whatever, and Brooklyn's like, I don't think we should do that because not just hurting Uncle Sonny and everything, but we don't want the cops in there coming in and finding stuff and freezing assets. We have no idea what Natalia did. And this is when, well, if this thing goes under, then this is it. This is my job. This is my livelihood. This is my kid's future. And I'm like, Brooklyn. I'm like Maxie. It's probably a lot better if you don't tell the cops, because like Tracy said, they freeze the assets. What do you think's going to happen to your paychecks? I'm like, listen, don't get me wrong. I understand where she's coming from on some level. If you be honest, you can get ahead of this. If you hide it, then the whole company can go up in smoke and everything. But maybe if you don't say anything, you can be good. You know, like I feel like I'm on Brooklyn's side. I feel like there's more of a risk of them just exposing themselves, and then God knows what Natalia did. The money's all gone. Might just let it go. I'm like, I think that's it. Well, it's definitely not a problem. I mean, you gotta sit there and deal with Sonny first. See, we gotta get to this whole Willow thing. So Lucas was mouthing off. Willow slapped him and then speed walked her ass down to the hall. Marco saw that and was like, Marco's like, let me sit there and testify. You want to go to HR? I could be a witness and everything like that. You want to get ahead of the story? Lucas like, nah, I'm gonna just let that go because she's already going through enough. And I did sit there and provoke her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not innocent in this whole thing out there. So he decides to squash it. Liz finds her in the hallway, and Willow tells her everything that happened. And she's shook. She's like, I could lose my kids. I could lose this job. It could be really bad. So let's just like go home. You're not in a right frame of mind of taking care of patients. I'll do what I can. Liz talks to Lucas, and he's like, I'm just gonna let it go because what I'm saying, like I didn't help the situation either. But Lucas is like, she is not in the right frame of mind to be sniffing around these kids. And hell, I think she even said that, and he even sat there and said like, um, if something like if the kids was with him, if the kids was with her, he would have sat there and told HR right then and there. But he seemed like he's gonna let it go, and at least he is taking accountability for him, for his side as well. Let's see. Now, Jocelyn, I mean, not Jocelyn, Carly's not there talking to Liesel. And at first, Carly's like, listen, if you tell Rocco what Lulu did, it's going to hurt Rocco. So don't do that. Right? And they go back and forth a little bit. And while that's going on, you have Anderson there questioning um, Jack to sit there and get an update. And she's like, listen, if I don't get an update, I will walk over there right now and tell everything. I'll do it. So Anna also has to come over there anyway to kind of like, because Lisa was like, listen, I changed. I'm a better person now. And you could sit there and test this. Anna's like, listen, you need to sit there and play nice with Rocco's parents. That's what Britt would want. Britt would not want any sort of pain and stuff like that, and putting Rocco in the middle of this whole thing. So, Lisa's like, fine, I'll leave. I'll go to a different hotel. You're gonna sit there and upgrade me for like a high suite room or whatever. Um, since you're gonna comp me for like the best room at that place. I want to see what that place looks like. Um, and then Colette comes over. I was like, damn, I gotta miss her. I don't know. There's something about her accent is just sexy. It is. Um, but she's not happy that Jack sat there, that Jack sent Jocelyn to the field so inexperienced. And they go back and forth a little bit. And Jack is like, listen, it's gonna be fine. If anything goes wrong by the season, he'll sit there and handle this whole situation. Don't you worry. And also don't sit there and question me. So Colette is like, fine or whatever. Carly comes over and Colette is just like rude as hell to her and just walks off. And Jack gets a text from Vaughn and Cynthia saying the op is going well. Op is not going well because, like Jocelyn said, if Britt sees Jocelyn, that whole thing is done. It doesn't matter though, because Khaled is a goddamn traitor. She calls up that guy that was, hassling Britt, sit there and go in the lab and get shit done. That this whole operation is already about to go tits up because there's two WSB spies that's there, posing as Nash and whatever her name is. And I was just like, damn, I like her too. Okay, well, I still like her, but damn. Um. Oh, I was like, well, that's it. Clearly, that's not it. You have the whole Geo thing, right? See, when Brooklyn came in. Geo walked up to her and was like, "What are you doing here? Gonna go take a fucking swim? Like, bro, you don't own this whole thing. Like, you're not the center of the universe." So she's like, listen, I came here to see Maxie about, deception work or whatever. And, she says something nice and kind of walks away. At this point, I'm not going to lie, I'm starting to get a little kind of Geo's attitude. See, Geo is there talking about them, right? And at first they talk about the dog and everything. But then Geo's like, he avoids a question for a little bit because he has to sit there and deal with Cody and James, getting too rowdy by the pool, which I understand. Gio's like, I'm still mad at Brooklyn, not just because she gave me away, but because she's hurting people still. Rocco's like, yo, listen, don't get mad at her on my account. I actually thanked her. Because of her, I know the truth and everything like that. Um, he's just like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to sit there and talk to her if ever. And I'm kind of just like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I'm really starting to get over Gio and his whole attitude towards Brooklyn. Uh, let's see. I still feel like I have more to sit there and say. I mean, I still feel like I didn't cover everything. And I say that a lot because they just throw so many goddamn characters into the show. Um, but I think that's actually gonna do it. Good episode. I enjoyed it. What is it? Wednesday? Next two episodes should be pretty good. Now, of course, if I missed anything, write in the comment section. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be talking about this show as well as the four other ones. You know what they are. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.